they've taken this test once this year, and the first thing I really like about this test is that it's like no other test that I've ever been involved with, in that I really think the data this test is generating is going to be useful to us. So my understanding of the way this test works is that it's a self-adjusting test. Right? So in other words, the students keep taking questions and keep adjusting higher and higher and higher, right, until they reach a level where they get topped out. And so what it does is it'll measure a level that the student's at now. We're going to keep giving the students this test a couple more times this year, and that will allow us to see growth over the course of this year. So I think that's going to be valuable data to work with.
As a corollary to what you said, I have to admit that this may be the first time I've ever seen a standardized test administered where the results were actually available relatively quickly so that you could use them. And by using them, I think it's a wonderful benefit to students because it should enable you to plan some really effective, differentiated learning experiences for kids who are inevitably at very different levels.
I think the challenge for us is to look at the results that our students got on this test and to meet them where they're at and help them achieve even higher than they would have otherwise in their developmental path. And I think that it's especially challenging because I have the results of all the 6th graders and all of the 7th graders together, and it's hard for me because I have somebody in the 31st percentile in the same class as somebody in the 99th percentile. And so it'll be really challenging to find text to read and activities to do in class that challenges both of those students equally so they can both improve on future tests.
Right, so that is the challenge, and we at least know that that's what the challenge is now. I mean, before this, we would not have maybe even known to differentiate. So that's definitely a plus as well.
I think in addition to looking at the test results and considering the implications for individuals and differentiation in planning learning activities for different students, I think it's also really valuable to look at the performance of an entire class and then rethink whether we have any curricular issues that we want to address in light of those results. Are there gaps in our curriculum? Are there places where many students are failing to perform at an appropriate level? So I think they have implications, the results have implications both for planning for individual differentiated instruction and perhaps re-examining and tweaking our own curriculum so that we address weaknesses.
I like that. The other thing that one other understanding I have about this is that this is normed also to the Ames test as well. So we can get back results from this test and see where they stand on the Ames test through some statistical magic. But still, it gives us some idea where they would have performed on the Ames test. So without actually having to take the time to do that test, which is I think also a big